Hi, this is Michelle McCosh, and I'm going to show you how to make a piece you can decorate your house with. I'm going to be making a round plaque on this chipboard circle. I'm going to use some die cuts from this one, which is called Garden Greens. I'm going to use a tab from the specimen die set. I'm going to use words from Tiny Text, which is CMS 394. I'm going to use paper Artsy stamp for some background imagery. I'm going to use some various watercolors. I've got rub-ons from 49er Market, tickets from 49er Market. I have film strips from 49er Market. I have butterflies from Tim Holtz. I have tiny little die cuts from Tim Holtz. We've got curator and number strips here. And I'm going to use a couple of pieces of Simple Stories paper. One of these is called Simple Vintage Garden District, and the other one is from the same collection. I'll see if I can find that. Oh, here it is. Use Your Wings. Okay, so I cut from that one a 3x4 for my photo. On this, I'm going to draw around my circle. I'm going to do it near the bottom so I save some of the paper for another project. Just going to draw the shape with a pencil, and then I'm going to cut that out with a pair of scissors, which I'll do off screen so you don't have to see me use scissors. And I am going to die cut something using my Tim Holtz Sidekick. Great little machine to have. So I do need a tab. Basically, just put that on your mat with your paper. Put your other plate on top, and then you run it through your Sidekick and it cuts the shape out. And there you have your shape nicely cut out. Just use the holes at the back to pop my piece, and I can set my die aside so that I don't lose it. And I basically did that for the Garden Greens as well, and die cut a whole bunch of leaves. Okay, so let me put that to the side. Okay, so I've die cut the circle, and I'm going to glue this to my chipboard circle with matte medium. You can use a glue stick, anything you have. I happen to have matte medium. I'm going to spread that out. Using my Tim Holtz brush, I use this one for glue only. And I'll wrap that in a wet baby wipe to keep it moist so I can rinse out the glue. Okay. So let's put that down. And I'm going to burnish it. Let me wrap this in a wet baby wipe first. I'm going to burnish it down. Make sure I get good adhesion with the glue. I'm going to set that aside to dry while we work on our leaves. So I previously die cut some greenery. Out of white watercolor paper. I tend to keep them, actually I tend to die cut a lot of leaves and little things that I can then keep in one of the Avery L envelopes so that when I'm ready to do a project, I already have some stuff die cut. So you can see I've used some of these before. Okay. So let us put some, make a little bit of space. I'm going to use a variety of things. I'm going to use some Hero Arts liquid watercolor, so let me put a little drop on my palette. I have a Lindys Stamp Gang Magical. Let me put some of that on my palette. Probably more than I need, but there you go. Set that to the side. Arts liquid watercolor, so let me put a little drop on my palette. I have a Lindys Stamp Gang Magical. Let me put some of that on my palette. It's probably more than I need, but there you go. Set that to the side. And then I have a paper Artsy infusions called the Sage. Tap some of that. What I've done is made a hole in the top with my pokey tool, and I just use it like a salt or pepper shaker and put a little bit down. I'm going to spray some water close by so that I can pick that up and use my water brush to color some leaves. Actually, if I do this on the white, you'll see it better. I could also have jelly printed a piece of paper in greens and browns, and then I could have die cut all my leaves from that. You could also use pattern or colored paper. So you could skip this step altogether. So I'm just going to go through and color everything. Add a little bit more water down here. I'd like about 5 or 6 different leaves. So again, if I hold that up close, you can see all the different kind of greens going on, so it's not all one color. Do this one, and the other one has little berries on it, so I'm going to color everything except the berries. So I'm going to be a little bit more careful with this one. Don't want to color the berries with this. I'm going to color them with a pink. to go with that 3x4 piece of paper. Okay, let's just wipe up the green. Rinse that brush. And then I have an Elizabeth Crafts watercolor set here, which I'm going to grab the pink from. Oops, let's put that on the white so you can see it better. Just to color the berries with a little bit of pink. You could also add glitter or little rhinestones here. That'd be very pretty. All right, now I'm going to dry everything. Bring our leaves in, get my heat tool. I think everything's dry. Okay, let's just push these to the side now. So I've got lots of greens to choose from. Now I'm going to take my chipboard circle, going to ink the edges with Vintage Photo, and that will kind of hide any blemishes from when I was cutting. Okay. And I want to make this background just a little bit more interesting, so I'm going to take this stamp from Paper Artsy, and I'm going to take just some of the writing little bits here and maybe some of the numbers, and just in a very, very pale gray ink. This is called Shadow Gray. It's archival ink. To just very gently, you can barely see the text, and that's the kind of the look I'm going for. So you can just see a little bit of interest. Set that aside. Okay, I'm going to bring in my tickets. I'm going to bring in all my little die cut pieces because I'm going to need those. I've got my little photo mat. So let's ink the edge of that as well with the same vintage photo. Okay, now I do want to pop this up for my background. So we sell these pop dots on a roll. They're great, especially if you have arthritis in your fingers. They have this little tab to make it easy to pull away. So, and I'll link those below. I don't want to go to the edges because I want to be able to tuck things behind. So, just pull those tabs, comes right up. I'll pop that down, maybe about there. Okay. I'm going to take one of these film slides. These are from 49 Market. And I don't need to use the whole thing. I'm going to snip one. About there. And I'm going to cut it in half. Whoops. I'm going to tuck that kind of underneath here. I'm going to tuck this one up here. And I'm going to start building my composition before I glue anything down. So I know that I want some tickets. And we'll get a postage stamp or two as well. Let's see. So these are all perforated. That. And they're all kind of different too, which makes them very interesting. Let's see. And I want to ink the tickets and the stamp as well with the vintage photo. And then I did have, let's see, that tab. That was the one we die cut. And ink that. Okay. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put a rub-on on it, but I know that that's going to go around here. I'm going to poke a ticket underneath, but I want to make sure I still see the film strip. So let's tuck some greenery. Move those out of the way. The leaves that have the Lindys Stamp Gang on are nice and shimmery. And I'll show you that up close in a minute. So I want to build the composition. I think I'm going to. That'll get popped up here. I know I would like a butterfly, so let me find where I put those. just want something small, I could do that one here. Or I could tuck a half wing underneath. Oops. Oh, I think I like the full one here. Okay. This is a little bit empty here, so this is where I grab one of the pieces from either the number strips or the curator. Oops. Sometimes this is the longest part, right? Finding the little piece that you want. Okay. I think that's good. Let's just put this to the side. We know this is going to go here, and I have to put a rub-on on there. And I need a sentiment. Let's just move all the die cuts out of the way. So this stamp set is great. I don't take this apart. What I do is pick the sentiment that I want. Let's see. I think that one's going to be a bit too long. How about Let Life Surprise You? So I know that is this one here. So I basically take my ink pad, and I like to use the VersaFine ink. Gonna ink that up. Take a strip of cardstock, lay it down, rub my fingers along the sentiment. Dry that with a heat tool, and then cut it out. Let me even that up. Okay, I'm going to ink the edges of this one as well. Oops, I've moved all my composition. That'll go there. It's going to get popped up. I think this ticket is too long, so I'm going to exchange that out for something a little smaller. Let's have a look. Go with this one. So I think that'll get popped up, and the butterfly will go right here. And I need a rub on for this tab, so there's the tab. I've got a whole bunch of words on this one, so let's grab this and see if we can find one. Actually, what about the word right now? So you want to cut the rub-on out. I'm going to open this up. take off the backer sheet. Put it down where I want. Oops. Try not to get it crooked. And I'm going to rub it off here. And there you go. There's the word right on there. And then I will tuck this in here. All right, let me glue everything together and I will be right back. Let's pull that out a bit more actually. Oop. Let's put that down here. And again, this piece would look pretty if you had little gems on it. If any of it overlaps here, I don't want to add any glue on that part because I want to tuck my photo underneath it. All right, we're not using that piece. Let me glue my word down. Let's pop that up. Got our little stamp that I'm going to pop up there as well. Oops, I only need part of this one. So let's cut that. Straighten that up. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I don't need this anymore. Oh, I could put it right here. Got my butterfly. All right, and I need to put something here, so let me see if I've got a rub-on I can use. I should have glued the sentiment down last. Okay, let's add a little heart. Nope, don't like the heart. So let's put that back in the package. Maybe I could use one of the tiny little pieces that we have over here. Yep, that'll work. So let me cut that in half so we don't waste it. Of course, we need to ink it up. And there you go. Really cute little piece that you can put a photo on and put on a little stand. You could make it seasonal. You could add some big words up here, maybe. Family, something like that. That would also be cute. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.